Hey movie peeps, thanks for watching Nibbles and Flicks for Snacks Me Cinema. I'm your host Jeff Reed, and in this video we're going to be munching on the new A24 biopic. Tony is based on Anthony Bourdain, one of the most popular chefs of all time, and this will be a non-spoiler review. Have you seen the movie yet? Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section, and also consider giving us a like on the video and also subscribing to the channel. It actually helps the channel out to get pushed out to more people, so really appreciate it. You can help us out with that. And now let's talk about one of the most successful and most controversial chefs of all time, Anthony Bourdain. Tony follows the brash, broke, and directionless 19-year-old Anthony Bourdain, played by Dominic Sessa. The movie is based on one of the stories from Anthony Bourdain's popular book, Kitchen Confidentials. The movie was directed by Matt Johnson, who also directed films as The Blackberry and Nirvana the Band, the show, The Movie. It's not your typical biopic movie. It's set in 1975. You see Bourdain. He's basically trying to become a professional writer. He has a couple of books already he's already written, and he's applying for his fellowship program where he can become a professional writer and also get his books published from a publisher. And you see that him just basically telling everybody, his family, girls around town, all this stuff, his friends, that he's a shoe-in to get in his fellowship program. And then unfortunately he gets a call one day while he's having dinner with the family that he's denied and he's not going to get into the fellowship program. So with doing that, with all his plans basically just blew up in his face, he's trying to impress his girl. He actually goes to Providence town where there's a girl named Nancy who's played by Emilia Jones. He's basically chasing her to get her some kind of way, even though his big plan blew up in his face. But while he's there, he takes up a job, summer job at this Cape Cod restaurant as a dishwasher, and he's learning under the tutelage of the Brazilian restaurant owner who's played by Antonio Banderas. And there he meets his co-workers, such as a bad boy named Sal, played by Leo Wendell. And this is where Tony finds his self of belongingness, and he's learning all the good and bad habits about operating in the kitchen. And it just shows how chaotic this lifestyle is, but if it's done right, it shows that maybe this kitchen cooking lifestyle can actually have a purpose. And after watching this movie, this one might be the best and more durable biopic of 2026. And if you're interested in this movie, I say definitely watch this movie. But let's get into why I think it's good, some of the bad, and the final score. So let's get into it. The highlight of this movie is the performance of the film, and I say Dominic Sessa playing it as a young Anthony Bourdain was absolutely incredible. He immersed himself into this role. He basically captures what Anthony Bourdain is when it comes to his brilliance. He's charismatic, but yet still flawed and cocky and arrogant, but still bring this incredible energy into him. And to the point where he can talk like him, he walks like him, he has his mannerisms, he even stands like him. And when he's lying to a total jackass, it's hard to root for him as well in this movie, which is basically how Anthony Bourdain was. But because of his performances, I feel like he brought the best that he can be to be Anthony Bourdain, and it's very viable to see him playing this character and believing that he is Anthony Bourdain, especially when it comes to the way he immerses in him. It's an absolutely stunning performance by Dominic Sessa. Antonio Banderas delivers a grounded standout performance, and as this restaurant chef and also owner, he acts as the guiding light for Anthony Bourdain. He is the light that brings Anthony Bourdain to realize his potential to be successful, and also understanding that being disciplined and staying on the right tracks. And I felt like the chemistry between Antonio Banderas and also Dominic Sessa was really good. You can see the mentorship. It starts off in a rocky relationship first, but it gradually start understanding each other, and so basically becoming like a mentor figure throughout this movie, while Anthony Bourdain is still being a jackass sometimes. But it's showing how patience and basically saying, be patient, you're disciplined, and you treat people well, good things are going to happen to you. And I thought Antonio Banderas did that in this film. And also Leo Wendell, he plays Anthony Bourdain's co-worker Sal, and I thought he was absolutely good. He's the one that shows Anthony Bourdain all the bad things you do while you work in the kitchen, also outside of work. And it basically builds like what the kitchen lifestyle is, the tension of self-destruction, basically drug abuse when it comes to reckless behavior, just trying to like get pleasure seeking, which can lead into bad things. And I felt like the chemistry between the two, showing what Anthony Bourdain could have basically kept on doing in this movie, have a directionless lifestyle can lead to bad things and put yourself in a horrible situation. But I love how these two interact with each other. You see them as odds at first, and then they become friends, and they start hanging with each other, and you start noticing, yeah, this guy is not be the person you need to hang out with, even though you're still trying to look cool and try to get girls. But still, end of the day, do you really want to get in trouble and do dumb stuff and put yourself in a bad spot? And finally, the last thing I did like about this film, it shows the reality of kitchen life. As someone who actually worked at McDonald's as a teenager and, living that life for a couple of summers, it's cool to see how they illustrate that in this movie, like a professional kitchen. Even though McDonald's is not a professional kitchen, it's not glamorous at all. And you always have like this orderly, refuge of misfits in the back kitchen and just cooking up food. And we all have our own kind of personalities when it comes to the cooks in the back. But it also shows the journey of Anthony Bourdain, where I said before, we saw him in troubling times doing stupid stuff when it comes to sell, and then finally understand what hard work and responsibility and being reliable means, and also that leads into being successful. And like I said before, it just took me back as a kid to where sometimes you work in the kitchens and you got that lost guy individual. Like, this is the only thing here that person can actually get when it comes to a job, and he has no direction. And you got people like say me and other coworkers who like, I'm already here for the summer because I'm going to college or something like that. And it was kind of cool to have that in this movie, to see the different characters in different stages of his life, but also have that real reality, how it is in the kitchen, and how certain things are said, certain things are done there. And if people really knew what really goes on in the back in the kitchen, it would probably disgust them. But I thought like that was really good to actually put the real reality, the authenticness of a kitchen, a professional kitchen, in this movie, and I dug it a lot. One of the things I can see some people complaining or not like about this film, like I said before, this being a period piece and set in 1975, and it's not really going through Anthony Bourdain's entire life and is stuck in this one summer. I can see some people want to see more. Like, and the movie doesn't really do that much of a good job of exploring his passion for food and exploring his passion for writing or storytelling, and why he wanted to become a chef, and why he wanted to live this lifestyle and travel and do all this stuff, and show the struggles that he had, in his early life, his middle life, and later in his life, with addictions and personal battles that basically shaped him, but also harmed him as well. And I feel like the movie kind of feels like more of like a teenage drama rather than an original story. Because, like I said before, it's stuck into this year, 1975. He's 19, and he's dealing with like 19-year-old stuff. And you really don't see anything else, him growing up, or, see anything when it comes to him becoming the person that he becomes. And I can see some people have some issues with that, but I could definitely understand. I still enjoy that because I felt like I liked that part of his story, to where they can focus on and add more stuff and be more creative and actually do a dive deep in the character at that particular time. But I do understand why some people, kind of want more, and he had an interesting life and we want to know more. But yeah, I can see why people can complain about it, and I really don't blame you for that. Another thing that I didn't really enjoy that much of the film was some of the supporting cast. I felt like they were underused a lot, especially Nancy, Emilia Jones' character. I felt like she was more like a plot device to get Anthony Bourdain to Cape Cod instead of being developed, and they try to do like this romance thing between them, and it just doesn't feel emotional or earned at all, which leads into the third act of the film. It's very predictable, and it relies on like the standard biopic ending, and also has like this rom-com formulaic tropes that doesn't really work when it comes to Anthony Bourdain and Nancy. And also it feels like Tony's arc wasn't completely fulfilled either. A lead up to the ending, to why he wants to be a cook, why he wants to be going to this culinary school, and show the passion of food and stuff like that. And I felt like they kind of tied it up real quick just to end the film. And it would have been nice to have like maybe 5-10 more minutes just expressing like why he wants to go to CIA, which is basically the Culinary Institute of America, and explain a little bit more in depth what his experience was in Cape Cod that led him to applying to CIA in order to become a chef. And I thought that could have been more flushed out more at the ending. It doesn't have to be a perfect bow tie to put everything together, but at least you have some meat to understand why he applied to the CIA, and how that started his journey to becoming a popular chef. And the snack worthiness of this movie, I have to say, is worth the popcorn. I really enjoyed this movie, and that's because the performances in this film, also the structure of the film, how they focus on a certain year and a setting for Anthony Bourdain. I'd like to see more. Maybe we could do a sequel, but I would recommend go watch this movie. I'm not really the biggest biopic guy, but I feel like this is one of the better ones that we've seen in a while. And like I said earlier, this might be the best one of 2026 because it definitely fleshes out the character a lot, and you can spend a lot of time with them, and you understand a little bit how they were, how they acted, and why they went their way. Even though there's some nitpicks I have, I wish they would have fleshed it out a little more and tied it in a bow and not towards the end of the film. You still get enough in here to understand why Anthony Bourdain became one of the best chefs of all time. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time watching this video today, and I will be doing more movie reviews and movie news this week. I will see The Mutiny as well. Probably get the opportunity to see Insidious and also Spa Weekend. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to get more movie reviews. Also like the video. It actually helps us out when it comes to getting more eyes on the video and bringing more folks to the channel. But until next time, and keep munching, keep watching good or bad, horrible movies that become guilty pleasures, but always keep it real. And I see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.